What's going on, y'all? A&J, and we're back with the best of pro wrestling and sports, the best of sports and pro wrestling, either which way you slice it up. You want the best of both worlds, you want to be right here for that. So with that in mind, if you enjoy the content that you see on the channel, definitely hit that like, share, subscribe down below, and when you hit that subscribe button, definitely don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when we're coming through with new vids. And of course, don't hesitate to leave me a comment down below because I do enjoy continuing the conversation beyond the videos. But with that in mind, we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to have a bonus topic, so to speak. But we're just going to get this one out the way real quick. Goldberg and Gunther. Of course, the expectation is that this is going to be the Goldberg retirement match, and I kind of feel like that's a pretty good way to go with this, especially given that it kind of has been off and on built up for a number of months now, and needless to say, Gunther is once again the world heavyweight champion of this as of this past Monday night, having defeated Jey Uso in a return match from WrestleMania. I'm gonna make this one real short and sweet because, just being perfectly honest, I feel like I'm hearing quite a few people saying that Goldberg could actually win this match. And I'm not going to act like that isn't a possibility or that there isn't a chance of that being the case, but quite frankly, when they do that that clip of, Steve Carell when he's on The Office, and of course he's like, no, God, no, please, no. Like, I think that's what we're all thinking when it comes to that sort of thing. Hopefully that isn't the case, but really and truly, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. I did hear someone talk about you could hot potato the championship back and forth and everything. I don't particularly like the idea of that at all, but if that were to happen, this is definitely a scenario where that could be the case. I'm just going to look at it this way. I hope to God not. And that's where I'm going to leave it on that. So moving right along, we're going to talk about a separate situation. This actually is regarding an AEW contract, or a pair of AEW contracts that are expiring, if not have expired, and that's that of Private Party. Being perfectly honest, I hope this isn't the last of Private Party being a part of AEW, as it was really fun seeing them win the tag titles, but of course I think a lot of us were pretty disappointed by the fact that they actually had them drop the titles fairly abruptly to the Hurt Syndicate. And I get why that was the case, but to do so in the way that they did, and we haven't heard from Private Party since, I kind of have a problem with that. Now, the thing about it is, where do they go from here? Do they re-sign with AEW? Are they possibly WWE bound, or maybe even TNA has a shot at picking them up? I feel like I'd prefer the latter because, at the very least, TNA definitely takes tag team wrestling a lot more seriously than either WWE or AEW. But at the same time, for me, if they were to re-sign with AEW, there's no way around it. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They need to be the ones to take the belts off of the Hurt Syndicate. And in doing so, they need to be built up accordingly in the way they absolutely deserve. Whether or not that's actually the case remains to be seen, but looking forward to whatever turns up of this situation, because, yeah, I don't think it could be said enough. Private Party is fantastic, and they deserve the best of what there is to be offered to them. With that in mind, we're going to jump right into a potential return for tonight's SmackDown. And of course, yesterday I talked about the potential debut for Hikuleo, possibly to be known as Tala Tonga, or likely even being repackaged altogether. Now it seems we might be getting Kiana James back, which I think is incredible. She's been out of action for what feels like at least a year now. I don't even remember when it was when we last saw her on TV. I just remember her being drafted to Monday Night Raw and somehow ended up disappearing, which, of course, it's obvious she suffered what I understand to be a knee injury. I haven't gotten too many details about that, but it turns out that Fightful has confirmed that she is backstage at SmackDown, and I believe that's in Louisville, Kentucky. To be honest with you, if it's tonight, Monday night, or whenever, I hope we do see Kiana James back because, I mean, just speaking on this as honestly and objectively as I can, she's a great addition to the women's locker room, no matter whether it's Raw or SmackDown. I think that she certainly brings something to the table that a lot of people don't give her credit for. And, you know, I can only wish her the best because if we're being perfectly honest, she's not the first person we've talked about here as far as coming back from injury or, in worst case scenario, having been released due to injury. So, yeah, again, just hoping for the best when it comes to Kiana James. Can't wait to see her back whenever that should be. And we're just going to be getting a really good one when we do see her back. But with that in mind, this one I really want to get into because this seems to just be getting talked about like almost as much as the whole thing with Goldberg and Gunther, but probably even more so. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I find this to be every bit as unlikely, probably more so. Well, no. Actually, this is more likely, and this is in the case of a potential of WWE Champion Ron Killings. Yeah, I said it. WWE Champion Ron Killings. I mean, just imagine that for a moment. I mean, it's probably easier to do with this right here. And of course, it has been going around a bit, but that's the reason I need to talk to y'all about this because, man, realistically speaking, it's not out of the question. I could see it happening. And I guess similar to what we have going on where Goldberg is concerned, there is that chance. But for me, I feel like this happens mostly because of the fact that fans are absolutely going to be behind it. Now, similar to what I said about Gunther when it comes to the World Heavyweight Championship, if he were to lose to Goldberg, it would be a hot potato situation. Be the same thing here. He could have it to where he beats Cena, holds it for about a couple of weeks, but then Cena wins it back. Ultimately, to lose it to Cody, Seth, Punk, whoever it is that should be the one to take it from him as we get closer to the end of the year, December 31st, which is his last date for WWE. I mean, gosh. Again, just being perfectly honest, I don't know if I see it happening. I'm leaning more towards no, but I guess it's just a matter of, you know, head versus heart and all that, or however you want to look at that, because absolutely, logically speaking, it's a no, but personally, and just given a lot of things that have been said, no matter how you want to slice it up and perhaps for even obvious reasons, I would love for it to happen, but I just don't think it does, truth be told. I really don't think it does, but who knows? I could be wrong. I've been wrong about these things before. I don't think this is going to be one of those cases. Who knows? Either way, let me know what y'all think about that down below. Do you see Truth winning the championship? Hell, do you even want to see him being WWE champion? I certainly would over Goldberg winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther, but a lot remains to be seen on that one. Only time will tell, and I think it's very easy to say we'll find out in coming weeks, but either way, with that in mind, I just want to thank y'all for coming through the way that y'all have recently, and y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification down below. Let me know what y'all think, and with that being said, this has been your time with A&J, and I appreciate you spending it with me.